my favorite people of the internet. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. And today is another craft in the 30-day crafting challenge. We're going to be making something really cool with these. So let's start the intro and then let's make something awesome. Hello crafty friends, and yes, like I said in the beginning, we are back for another craft in the 30-day crafting challenge. So for this craft, we're going to be using 3 of these Dollar Tree signs. I think they're like 6 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches. So 6 inches around, and I've got 3 of those. And then I have these self-adhesive wall tiles. I have 4 of them. I'm only going to need 3 of them though. So we have the signs and the wall tiles. Those are the major components of today's craft. If you're going to be following along, you're also going to need some E6000 adhesive, a pair of scissors, and some paint. Depending on what color you want your project to be, I'm going to be using this white, this is actually chalk paint in a Dollar Tree paint container, and some burnt umber. And I know what you're wondering, what are we making? Well, we are going to make some, I guess, farmhouse style hang-ups that we can use in our farmhouse style decorating. And if you're making this project, you are going to need 1 complete wall tile per every picture. So this is one of our signs and 1 tile. Now these wall tiles are really cool and they are self-adhesive, but the problem is the self-adhesive part on the back is actually separate than the tile itself. So when we go to make this, it would be really awesome if this would adhere, but it's not going to. That adhesive layer does not stick on its own. Now for this tile, I want the tile, like this center portion, to be a part of my tile or my picture that I'm making. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the tile, and it doesn't matter if I get this ink on my picture or even the tile, because it's all going to get painted. And this is going to be what I'm cutting out. Can you see the outline? It's hard to see. So I basically put a pen around the edge and traced it. And now we're going to cut that out of this tile. Secure to this sign. So then I'm going to take some E6000 and I'm going to put a little bit of the E6000 onto the sign for the tile to adhere to. You don't have to put a lot. The E6000 works really well and it's really sticky. So then I just put that tile on top of my sign and I'm just kind of moving it around to really get that glue adhered to the tile itself. And that is pretty much it. So now we're going to let that dry for a little bit and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so my tiles have had time to set up and to let that E6000 dry. And this is the end result so far. And I'm just going to use a 1-inch brush to paint it. I'm going to be using white and burnt umber. The white is actually chalk paint, and then I'm going to mix some burnt umber into it. I'm probably going to mix quite a bit because I want this to be pretty dark. The chalk paint is nice because it has a different type of a texture or consistency. Oh, getting a little crazy there. Making it so that the paint will adhere really well to the tile. So the chalk paint I find helps a lot to do this. And you can see with these tiles that they have like a raised surface. tiles and they're brown. But I'm thinking I want to change this up, and I think I want them to have like a creamy color, kind of a white cream, and then have brown accent. So I am going to go ahead and repaint these guys. That is the fun thing about doing these projects. If you don't like it, you can, you know, just wait a little bit and then you can change it. I'm thinking more kind of like a parchment color. So I'm gonna do a little bit of almond. We'll see how that is with the white and if that is gonna be enough. I think so. Then I just have to make sure I duplicate that on the other two tiles. Yeah, because I kind of want it, I want to say an antique-y white, but antique-y white to me might mean something different than it does to you. Because I'm not thinking antique-y white like what it is on, say, antique white wall paint. This is a little bit different. But I'm just curious. Just got to try it. See if I'm wrong in my thinking. Yeah, no, I want that opposite. So I want to do the dark color as my accent to really kind of stand out. And I want the light as the base color. Are dry, or mostly dry. This guy looks like he's still a little wet, and it's been a couple hours, so that's okay. So now I'm going to make these look more antique-y. So I'm doing opposite of the one I did earlier, and I'm going to use wax because this stuff is fun, but I'm just going to use a little bit. You don't need a lot. And then I'm just going to use one of my old chippy brushes. Don't know even actually why they're called chip brushes, but they're definitely fun. So now, okay, moment of truth, just go for it. That one is done. That was pretty easy. Now we're going to do it again on this guy. And I guess you would call this a dry brushing technique, because it's really just picking up the details of the tile. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you can make it perfect, but I think you'll drive yourself crazy if you worry about perfection. It's an original and you created it, so that's pretty exciting in itself, don't you think? Just want to make it look a little bit old-timey, I guess. Yeah, I like that. All right, so now all three of my tiles are done. That was super easy, and now I'm just gonna go hang them up and we'll see what they look like. All right, so here are my finished tiles. And I actually hung them up in my bedroom along with some pictures that I made of barns. And I made these pictures using Bing's AI that create. So I told the AI what I wanted in a picture and it made them for me. If you want some original artwork, you can go on to bing.com/create and you can actually make your own artwork. It is pretty awesome. And I think that the tiles go along really well with my farmhouse decor in my bedroom. I'm so happy with how they turned out. Hopefully you can see that. We're actually in my bedroom and that's where the tiles are hanging. So if you like this project, make sure you come back tomorrow. We have a brand new project in the 30-day crafting challenge. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button and go ahead and click that bell notification. That way you'll be alerted every time I have a new video coming out. And like I said, come back tomorrow for a brand new video in our 30-day crafting challenge.